Hey everyone, this is Danny from Danny Ferrier Coaching. And this morning I'd really like to talk to the business owners who are putting themselves out there, quite possibly for the first time, and they need to start to network market themselves. Now, this is a common challenge when we first open up a business, or if you've been in business for a little while, but you haven't quite had the confidence to be able to go out there and sell yourself. And selling yourself is it's an interesting challenge when you look at it from a psychology perspective. What are we doing? We're essentially owning our stuff. We're saying, okay, this is me now. And that's quite a lot for people to take on. So I can understand why it's a big challenge, because it's a moment, a decision, a subconscious decision that from now on, this is who you're defining yourself as the business owner and in your industry. So we're going to unpack today what are the 3 mindsets to bring with you when you are going into a networking situation that are really going to help you to thrive in business, to help you to network more effectively, and ultimately to have a more successful business when you are putting the message out there and able to connect with your potential target market and allow them to see you for that confident business owner that is really owning your stuff, and you are putting that stake in the ground and saying, this is me now, and moving forward with that kind of energy. One of the common discussions that comes up with some of my clients is that they tend to compare themselves to other networkers. I wonder if that is resonating with you at all when you first started networking, or when you go to put yourself out there in public. It's quite easy to feel that everyone else has got it sorted, or everybody else knows what they're doing. But the truth is that everybody is on their own journey. And we need to stop comparing our internal worst to everybody else's external best, because it's really easy to do. Even putting yourself out there on social media, you see all of this wonderful footage, images, content, and it's quite easy to think, oh, well, mine's not that good. But that's a mindset shift. And that's what I help work with my clients on, to understand what are the blocks that are holding you back from owning your stuff and being able to confidently put yourself out there and own the business and really own who you are as a person showing up within that business. I also want to bring to light that quite often people go into a networking situation with this attitude of wanting to get. We all want to get sales. We all want to get more business. But that energy of wanting to get is quite often holding us back from effectively networking. I'll give you an example. There was another coach in Nelson, and he applied for one of the networking groups that I'm in. And interestingly, the energy that he brought, it was all about him. It was all about him getting referrals out of the group. And the group could feel that. And that was the feedback that I heard. Whereas other people that had applied for the group were more connectors. They were people who were there to add value to the group. They didn't make it about them or their business. They made it about how much they could contribute, how many referrals they could give to other people. And as a result of that, were able to get back referrals and to be part of a community rather than being there with this energy of wanting to get. Does that make sense? So changing your attitude towards networking can help you to show up in a different way. When you're just there to give and you're there to contribute, that's a beautiful energy for you to bring to any group, and also reflects in what you're giving to your clients. if you're there to add value to your clients, to do what you can to support them and maybe to connect them with the things that they need, that's another energy that they're going to be attracted to. And if that's you, then you're really putting yourself above the general market, who are quite often just there to get the customer, make the transaction, and it's more of a transaction than it is a connection. Cool. So let's dive into some of the mindsets to have when going into that situation. And the first one is being okay with not knowing. You're going into a new environment. You're going into a new version of yourself. You're going into a business that maybe is pretty new to you. And having an attitude of needing to know holds you back from being able to put yourself out there. If you need to have all the facts, you need to have certainty around what it is that you're going to do, you'll just be waiting and waiting. So trusting yourself to be okay with whatever comes up. If you have to stand up and introduce yourself in front of 20 people, I get that that can be really scary, and it's going into the unknown. And you can never prepare yourself enough for those moments. My heart still flutters when I do my 60 seconds at the Business Networking International every single time, and I'm a pretty confident speaker. This is a natural reaction that happens within us because our defense mechanisms need to hold us, to keep us safe and make sure that we're not putting ourselves out there, because we don't want to be shamed. We don't want to be cut down. But the truth of the matter is that you won't be shamed, that everybody is there in your corner supporting you to learn, to grow, and to do really badly until you get better. So being okay with the ambiguous, being okay with putting yourself out there regardless of what comes up, and learning to build that trust is a journey. And like I said before, everybody's on their own journey. So no point in looking at somebody else and comparing your journey. Just be happy where you're at and how far you've come already. Because I bet you are doing better than you think, but you haven't given yourself evidence towards that. The second mindset is to show up with curiosity. People love when you ask questions about them. And when you're constantly adding value to them and finding ways that you can possibly connect them, you will be able to ask better questions, to get really curious about what their situation is. And as a result of that, you'll be able to build more connections. They'll be able to refer you because they'll feel confident that you truly care. So how do we create that mindset of curiosity? Well, simply telling yourself that you're a curious person. Now, I know this sounds weird, but the beliefs that we have about ourselves depict our behavior. And when we have that belief that we are curious, maybe you don't believe it at the beginning, but you start to tell yourself that you're a curious person, then slowly you will start noticing that you become more curious. You start opening up with questions that maybe go a little bit deeper. One of the things I found really helped me as well is asking open-ended questions, or asking questions that break the ice, like, what's your favorite vegetable? That tends to diffuse the situation a little bit, and you get to have a more real conversation with somebody than just your average chit chat. So being curious, having that mindset of curiosity going forward helps you to learn about others, create that connection, and as a result of that, they will perceive you as somebody who really cares, which I'm sure you do. But that element of curiosity helps you to become even more known for being a curious and open person. And the third mindset is knowing that getting out of your comfort zone is the way that you're going to build your business. Our comfort zone is our safe zone. And we have these neurological processes in our brain that is continuously sending us on the same neural pathway. It's pretty normal for us to take the route of least resistance. If we've got two paths to go down, do we go down the one that we've always been down? That path that we know we could do it with our eyes closed. It's that path that we've done it 100 times. There's not that much resistance. Or there's the other path. There's getting out of your comfort zone and creating a new neural pathway in your brain. And that's the path of challenge. It's also the path of fulfillment, the path that's going to bring you the most meaning in life. And as you put yourself out there more and more, you will build the neural pathways within your brain, and it'll start to get easier. So you'll start to develop a mechanism within you that is able to trust yourself to take on even more, to get even further out of your comfort zone. And this will bring you so much more success in your business rather than staying safe, needing to have certainty, and making it all about you and not allowing yourself to show up for others. Is that making sense? So if this message is resonating with you and you'd love to talk about how you can build more confidence within yourself to be that business owner that you need to be, to strut yourself in a networking room and really own who you are being, I would love to have a chat with you and help to understand what are some of the blocks that are holding you back from being that person. I'm Danny from Danny Ferrier Coaching. Thanks for listening.